Genesis chapter 4 begins with a glimpse of new hope and ends with the deep consequences of sin. Adam and Eve, now outside the Garden of Eden, have their first children. Eve gives birth to Cain and says, "With the help of the Lord, I have brought forth a man." Later, she gives birth to his brother Abel. Cain became a farmer, Abel a shepherd. 2 brothers, 2 lives, and 2 offerings. When the time came, both brought gifts to the Lord. Cain brought some of the fruits of the soil. Abel brought fat portions from the firstborn of his flock. And the Lord looked with favor on Abel and his offering, but he did not look with favor on Cain and his offering. Why? The Bible doesn't say Cain's offering was wrong in itself, but it shows Abel brought his best in faith. Hebrews 11:4 tells us, by faith, Abel offered to God a better sacrifice than Cain. Cain's heart was not right. And when God did not accept his offering, Cain became angry, and his face was downcast. Then God spoke directly to Cain. "If you do what is right, will you not be accepted? But if you do not do what is right, will you not be accepted? But if you do not do what is right, sin is crouching at your door. It desires to have you, but you must rule over it." But Cain did not listen. He lured his brother Abel into the field, and there he attacked and killed him. The first murder in human history. Then the Lord said to Cain, "Where is your brother Abel?" Cain answered, "I don't know. Am I my brother's keeper?" But the Lord said, "What have you done?" "Your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground." So God pronounced a curse. Cain would be driven from the land, and the ground would no longer yield for him. He would become a restless wanderer on the earth. Cain cried, "My punishment is more than I can bear." He feared being killed by others. Yet God, in his mercy, placed a mark on Cain, a sign of protection, so that no one who found him would kill him. Cain went east of Eden and built a city named after his son Enoch. From his line came music, tools, and cities, but also violence and pride. Meanwhile, Adam and Eve had another son, Seth. Eve said, "God has granted me another child in place of Abel." And it was in the days of Seth's son Enosh that people began to call on the name of the Lord. Genesis 4 shows us the first act of worship, the first sin outside the garden, and the deep mercy of God, even when judgment is deserved. It teaches us that sin is near, but God warns before it destroys. That worship must come from the heart, not just the hands, and that even after loss, God restores a faithful line. Join us next for Genesis 5, the generations of Adam and the man who walked with God.